All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. After making the National League Championship Series last year, the expectations were there for the San Diego Padres to be able to do even bigger things here in 2023. But with just a little bit more than half of this Major League Baseball season in the books, the Padres have been one of the league's biggest disappointments. San Diego is currently 38 and 46, which has them in fourth place in the National League West, while they are also 8.5 games behind the Los Angeles Dodgers for the final wildcard spot on the senior circuit. Now, the Padres have lost seven of their last eight, and they have not been above 500 since the 10th of May. And for all of the big names in this Padres lineup, they're 14th in the National League in batting average. They're also 14th in hits, and they're also 11th in runs scored. And when you look at the San Diego Padres, in my opinion, there is just simply too much talent on this team to be this bad. I mean, the lineup has a slew of all-star caliber players. The same thing can be said for this rotation. The same thing can be said for this bullpen. You have a manager in Bob Melvin who knows how to get results. And the bottom line is it just has not come together for the Padres. To me, I look at this team, they they've struggled to get the timely hit in those key situations. They've struggled to take care of their business against the teams that they're supposed to beat. And in my opinion, they're too lackadaisical at times. And when it's all said and done, when you add all of those things up, and of course, there's other factors as well. This is why the San Diego Padres currently have the record that they do. And of course, for anybody involved, including general manager AJ Preller, this is not the way that you envisioned this season to go so far for the San Diego Padres. You look at it, they just lost 2 out of 3 to the Cincinnati Reds, who are playing some great ball. They got swept on the road by the Pittsburgh Pirates. They just lost 2 out of 3 at home to the Washington Nationals, one of the worst teams in the National League. Now San Diego's got to turn their attention to a 3-game slate at home, which begins tomorrow with the Los Angeles Angels before they welcome the New York Mets, another struggling and underachieving team, to Petco Park for this coming weekend just prior to the All-Star break. But then you look at things coming out of the gate in the second half. This is going to be a make or break moment for San Diego. I say that because they got a 10-game road trip to begin the second half of this season. It starts with 4 games in Philadelphia against the Phillies. And of course, Philly was a team that beat San Diego in the NLCS last year. You then travel to Toronto for 3 games against the Blue Jays. And Toronto, they currently find themselves in the mix for the postseason on the American League side. And then you finish up with 3 games at the Detroit Tigers. And of course, the Tigers are well out of it right now. But nonetheless, you still got to go out there and play them. You're still on the road, and you got to try to find a way to come out of there and get things going. So I really think these next 16 games, the six to finish the first half of the season, and of course, that 10-game road stretch to begin the second half are going to be telling for this Padres team. There's too much talent here. You got Yu Darvish, you got Blake Snell in that rotation. You got Josh Hader in the bullpen with others. Again, Manny Machado, Xander Bogaerts, Juan Soto. I could just keep going right down the list of the talent that is in this lineup, and they just have not gotten it done. I know that the Padres got off to a slow start last year before they were able to pick it up. Maybe that will be the case. Maybe it won't. But again, they've struggled against the Dodgers in the regular season like they have in recent years, or for the most part, in the last decade or so. But nonetheless, obviously, they were able to pick it up versus the Dodgers in the divisional round last year. Nonetheless, just because you did it last year doesn't mean it's going to carry over to this year. And I think this 2023 version of the Padres is a prime example of that. The expectations have been there. They have not been able to live up to that. And again, this is one of those teams that we're seeing it so much throughout baseball. Just because you spend the money does not mean that you're going to get the results. You look at the Mets; they have the top payroll in baseball by far this season. They have a losing record, the same record right now as the Padres. San Diego has the third highest payroll in baseball. They have a losing record as well. So just because you spend the dough doesn't mean you're going to get the results. And the 2023 Padres so far are another illustration of that. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Now, I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.